Okay, welcome to the What is Coaching call. Thank you to everybody that's attended. We are going to get going right on time. We want to make this 30 minutes and be super respectful of your time. One of the things that we usually answer right when people get on this call is, what is a coach? But as we get deeper into our community and as we see all these women join our community as coaches, there really just isn't any specific answer to that question. We're not fitness experts, and we are. It depends on who you are. Whatever interests are in your life are what are going to be the strengths for you as a coach. We've had women that have had zero fitness experience at all join after 20 days of doing a program and go on to be a coach, a really successful coach. And we've also seen fitness professionals do this and be able to have a larger, widespread impact than they can in their fitness studio right off the bat. So what is a coach is you basically showing up as authentically you. And I hope that over the course of tonight, you're going to hear a couple different coaches speak, that you'll sort of maybe relate to one of us and maybe, see yourself in our stories. So I am going to start and share a little bit about my story. I started coaching 3 years ago now. 3 years ago on Valentine's Day, which is such a sort of funny day that I enrolled then, because now looking back, it was such a gift to myself of self-love. I started 20 days into my journey. I had lost 15 pounds of a very large amount of weight that I had gained with my babies. I'd never been into fitness. I was basically the anti of anything coach. But after 26 days of doing these programs, Erin kind of looked at me and she's like, "Why don't you coach?" And, I'd seen some women in my life selling skincare online or selling different things online. And I was kind of like, good for you, not for me. But when I was in this group with my coach and I was watching what she was doing and how she was helping me through this program, she really made it feel super relatable. And I admired her. I thought she was amazing. And it made me see myself in her. I felt like I could do that. And so when Erin said, like, "Why don't you become a coach?" I kind of looked down the list of the things that coaching might offer my lifestyle and felt like I had nothing to lose. Something I've always wanted was time freedom. I live in another country from the majority of my family, and being able to pick up and go is really important to me. I've never been a great employee. I've always kind of been one that's like, you don't tell me when I'm taking my vacation, type of person. So that lifestyle really appealed to me. And it's a huge reason that I wanted to consider coaching. But also I think the biggest reason was my personal accountability. I knew that if I started coaching, that I would be sort of forced to show up in this journey of my own personal wellness. I think everybody's reasons why you start this are different, but one thing is for certain: being a proof that the products work is the most important part of this role. Showing up for others and showing them a way to live a healthy lifestyle that's sustainable in whatever your life looks like is the job. And so I started showing up day after day after day after day. I think in the beginning, it was really just for me, for my own goals and my own personal accountability. But now 3 years in, seeing the impact that this has had on thousands of women and hundreds of women that have started a business because of it is really, really cool. I'm someone that has struggled with addiction in my past. And even after motherhood, that didn't instantly change me. I remember after my daughter going back to smoking, I remember hoping we could find a babysitter so that we could go out. And then I was dealing with the hangover the next day. I really struggled to authentically change my ways. And coaching is something that I've just always known, if I continue to show up day after day after day, it's going to only do positive things in my life. And that's really what it's done. I feel finally, after 3 years, that I have truly made life-changing changes to who I am. I used to think so many of those things were at the core who I was. And now I realize those were just the choices I was making. Coaching has really helped me make better choices in my life. And that ripple effect has gone on. So that's just a little bit about me. I am going to pass it over to Jen, who is another coach, and she is going to share a little bit from her journey.
Awesome. Thanks, Court. Hi, everybody. My name is Jen. Thank you so much for being here. So excited to see you all here and be able to share what this has done for me. So a little bit about me. I am an elementary school teacher in Ottawa. I have two really young kids, well, a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. So I'm kind of in the trenches of toddler mom life and teacher life and dealing with all of the things. So similar to Court, Court and I've known each other for years, and I sat back and watched her on the sidelines for a while, doing these workout programs and feeling fantastic. And she had invited me multiple times just to work out with her, and it was always a very kind, polite no thank you, because I didn't think at-home workouts worked. I thought that was like Richard Simmons stuff, and I wasn't into it. And then finally she was like, Jen, what have you got to lose? So I did 80-day obsession. I did the 80-day program, and it literally changed my life. I was shouting it from the rooftops. I was already posting on social media, like of my own will, because I felt fantastic. And again, Court invited me to coach. Again, I turned her down about 12 times because I would never do this. And finally, again, it was one of those, what have you got to lose? And I've been 2.5 years, and I can tell you it has changed me in every possible way you can imagine for the better. Especially now, I look back at my own physical journey as I've changed, and like even the success of being able to maintain this goal weight for the last 2.5 years is something that I've never known. I was always consistently yo-yoing, losing the 15 pounds and gaining it back and all of the things. So not only has it forced me to show up and be accountable in my wellness journey and be able to, be proof of the product and make sure that I'm continuing to show up even on the hard days, it's really transformed me on the inside. And now more than ever, I kind of want to speak to how this has impacted me since last March. We are literally all going through what I would like to consider and hope is going to be kind of the worst times of our lives. And during this time, this is a time when the old Jen would have crumbled. And I know she would have. I used to drink a lot. I loved my wine and all of the things, and really like to cope that way through hard times. But how this coaching journey really forces you to show up on and change on the inside was huge. So right now, being in this environment and dealing with all of these struggles, it has been so incredible to have this to fall back on. And, we talk about how in order to be a successful coach, you change on the inside first. So a lot of what we do is like personal development. And I have grown and changed as a woman, and strengthened myself through being in connection with these communities, through having to show up for the women who I've said that I would do this with. And it's literally saved me. I can't even tell you how many times I've wanted to crawl into the fetal position and like with a giant bottle of wine and just, wish away the next few months, which I'm sure I'm not alone in feeling that way. And coaching hasn't let me do that, because when I feel like that, there's that tug on your heart that's like, no, you got to show up for these women because you said that you would. And so that accountability, although sometimes you kind of curse it, it's incredible, and it's such a blessing. And I can tell you that I am a stronger mom. I'm a stronger, more confident, happier, healthier, sober woman. And not that this journey is about getting sober. It's just that Court and I kind of have those two commonalities, but that's not, you don't have to quit all of your things to do coaching. It's just who we've been and how, you can show up. Oh yeah, of course not sober. Sorry. How you can show up as the best version of you. So if you are right now a mom who's in the trenches, which I have a feeling there's probably at least one or two of you on here, this might really be a bright, shiny light for you during these dark times. I know for me, it really has. And for so many other women on our team, pouring into something positive and wonderful like this is incredible. So I'm going to pass it off to Sarah next.
Awesome. Hey guys, my name is Sarah. I've been coaching for almost a year and a half now. I'm also a teacher. I teach grade 7. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I remember when I was first invited to the coaching opportunity, I thought it was a joke. Like, I laughed at my coach at the time. I shut it down. Like, there was no way in a million years I would do something like this. I was only about 6 weeks into my journey, and I wasn't even super consistent. I wasn't that person who came and had like crazy results after the first program and loved all the things and then dove into coaching. I was like, okay, I've kind of sort of been doing these workout programs. I'm not following a nutrition plan. Like, why would you ask me to do this? Like, I felt super unqualified to help other people in their own journey simply because I started to make these little changes. I also really feared the whole idea of social media. I really didn't use social media at that point. The only thing I really shared were things of my kids, maybe a few family things, but the thought of putting myself out there and sharing my story, especially in a state where, I didn't love who I was and it felt really vulnerable, was something that made me really uncomfortable. When I started coaching, it was 2 weeks going back to school after maternity leave. And I'm like, there is no way. Like, I'm not even sure I have time to pack lunches at this point. Like, I cannot add coaching onto this. And honestly, I had so many reasons why I couldn't do this. Similar to Courtney, though, I decided to say yes for the accountability. Even though I was only kind of sort of doing the programs for less than 2 months, I was really appreciating the way that I was feeling. I was starting to feel better. And all of a sudden, I wanted this to be something that would turn long-term. And I know from my track record that that would never happen unless I had some extra accountability in my journey. So I was terrified to do it. I lost sleep over it for a while, but I decided to do it for selfish reasons. And that was for me. Even though it was a scary decision, honestly, looking back now, the best decision I've ever made, not only for me and my own journey, but my family and our future. And I have 3 reasons why that I want to share with you. My first is the accountability part. Like, I know I would not have had the physical transformation that I've had if I was not a coach. I know that for a fact, because there are so many days, even still up until this point, where I peel my ass out of bed in the morning because I know people are looking for me and they're waiting for me in the morning to show up. I know the women in my community are depending on me to follow through with the commitment that I've made. So I cannot tell you how many times I've shown up simply for that reason. But honestly, what is more important than what I've lost are the things that I've gained through this. I'm a more patient mom. I'm a happier wife. I'm a better teacher. I'm a more confident person. Like, literally all the areas in my life have improved in some way since I've become a coach. My second reason is the impact that it's had on the people in my life who I love the most. My mom, my sister, my dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, all the teachers at my school do Beachbody or are Beachbody coaches now as well. And all of these people joined because I was brave enough to share what I was doing, and I invited them to join me. And I invited them to join me because I loved how these programs and this community was making me feel, and I just wanted them to be able to experience that as well. And I cannot tell you how rewarding it is, the feeling that you have when somebody sends you a message and they're thanking you. They are thanking you for nudging them. They are thanking you for inviting them for the 3rd time, whatever it is, because this has also had a massive positive impact on their life as well. And then my 3rd reason is something that I honestly never expected out of this, and that's the income potential. I assumed that people who had success in this style business, like especially with coaching or with Beachbody, I assumed they had some kind of upper hand, right? I don't know. They were something special about them. I really didn't think someone like me would be able to have success in this. But what I've learned is if you just show up as you just share your journey and you just do the things, you put your head down and you get to work, you can grow this business as big or as small as you want. My 4-year-old has a compromised immune system. Back in March when COVID hit, we made a decision for my husband to go off of work. And this has relieved so much financial stress from our home. This truly was something I remember saying to my husband, if I can make enough money to pay for my products every month, like, would that be okay? And then this hobby wouldn't cost me money. Like, that was my expectation for the income, but it truly has relieved so much financial stress, especially with this year. But what is even more important than that is what it's allowing us to think of our future. right? We are able to plan for different things, dream of different things for our future that honestly it never would have even crossed our mind if it wasn't for the coaching opportunity. So I really want to encourage you guys, when you get off the call tonight, to really sit down and ask yourselves, could your own journey improve or benefit by having some kind of extra accountability, whether it's physical, emotional, whatever it is, whatever your journey and your story is? Would it make you proud? Would it make you happy to have a positive impact on the people in your life who you love the most? And could your household benefit from some kind of additional income? And on that note, I'm going to pass it off to Erin.
Hey guys, my name is Erin. I am so excited to speak with you guys all tonight. I have been coaching now upwards, almost coming up to 3 years, which is kind of mind blowing. This is never something I thought that I would do. I've always been a really straight and narrow person who follows the expected career path. But before coaching, I was a busy working mom. I worked a full-time management role with the Department of National Defense. My kids are both in rink sports, so we were, I literally would rush to work, drop them off at school, rush to work, rush home, pick them up, give them something to eat, rush to the rink, rush home, have dinner, rush to get them to bed. And at the end of the day, I just felt like I'd crash. Like I felt like I was rushing through life and ultimately drowning. I had no time for myself. I had no hobbies. I had no passions, nothing exciting for me other than my family life. And I watched other coaches online for many years, and I just felt drawn to their joy and excitement and positivity for life. And I remember when we started doing these workouts together, and Courtney was really loving it. And I was like, you should coach. This is so amazing. And it was something that I'm the kind of person that would rather admit or rather convince somebody else to do something scary than admit that I wanted to do it myself. So convincing her to do it was easy, but admitting that I wanted to do it was really hard. It took me a lot of months later to finally confess, I actually want to do this too. I was terrified of putting myself out there on social media. I have a really great reputation at work. I prided myself as being a very proud business type woman. And I really just was terrified. But ultimately what I found is that the more I put myself out there, the more I actually helped other people, the more I had impact on other people, the more I was helping to change people's lives. I have to plug my computer in. It's going to die 1 second. Sorry. And I knew that if I could help one person through this, it was worth it. So putting myself out there was scary, but it ultimately led me to being a coach and helping and inspiring and having impact on other people's lives. In turn, me taking time for myself got me out of that mom life funk. It really did. It helped me to have something for myself. It gave me a passion and a joy and this joie de vivre that I literally didn't know that I had. It gave me something exciting for my life. The trips, the speaking, the events is something so exciting and joyous, and obviously that we're not really having right now, but even the virtual events right now are something so beautiful and bold in my life that I really ultimately wasn't having before. I can't think of I seriously can't think of a single aspect of my life that hasn't been improved by doing this business. I feel like I'm a better mom. I'm more patient. I'm a better wife. I feel like I have confidence and joy and passion in my life. My career has blown up to be something that I'm overjoyed and excited about. Our finances have allowed us, honestly, I know Sarah spoke a little bit about the financial opportunity. You have to work hard and you can make, good money doing this, but the opportunities that blessed our family is something that I never really truly ever expected for us. So in every aspect of every aspect of life, I've been benefited by coaching, and I'm forever grateful for this opportunity. So we're going to answer some of your questions. I'm going to pass it back to Courtney.
Jen's going to kick off the FAQs.
Yeah. So some of our frequently asked questions that we get, first of all, how much does it cost to be a coach? So you'll be pleasantly surprised that it's not a very big investment. It's $15 a month US or $19 a month Canadian for your coach fee. And that gives you a 25% off discount of all of the Beachbody products and programs as well. It gives you access to your back office and Beachbody's customer service. So you guys, we don't buy products that we have to like stock hold in our garage. We don't take returns. We don't take exchanges. Like we don't process any of that stuff. We don't take people's credit cards. Beachbody does all of that for you. And the customer service is top of the line, incredible. So to have them supporting us is amazing and totally worth that $15, $19 a month that you pay. As well, Courtney talked about like being proof of the product and making sure that you are like a living, breathing example of these products. So you're not going to be buying product that you need to like sell off to other people, but you yourself will be purchasing product to use yourself so that you can talk about it and be able to share it authentically. We talk about the fact that we're not salespeople. We share our journey and we share what these products do for us, so that we can really help people. So you're going to be buying your own products for you each month, and then you're going to have that coach fee. The other question that we get a lot is how much coaches can make. So this is kind of a loaded question because it can be like Erin said, like this business can be as big or as small as you choose. You're in the driver's seat. It's your business. You don't have to answer to us. You don't have to hit a certain quota or anything like that. It's all on you what you choose to do in this business. And people are doing this to earn a few $100 a month in order to maybe help pay for different activities or alleviate some of the financial stress in the house. And some people are earning 7 figures. It's all up to you and how much time you choose to dedicate and how hard you want to work for it. There's no limit to this opportunity. So we are a community and we are a team that welcomes everyone with any goal that you want to have within this business. And so, yeah, kind of the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jen. Next FAQ is this a pyramid scheme though? And we like to address this just because I think that it's so common, and especially with a lot of women that join it or are hesitant to join because they feel like their spouse wouldn't be supportive of this kind of thing, right? And so just to answer that question really directly, a pyramid scheme is something that you pay money into and don't receive any service or product. What this is network marketing, or how some people would call it MLM, is a multi-level marketing. So just like any other business, you have to, what you put in is what you get out. But the things that I think are different about network marketing, especially in this time, I think that we're going to look back in a whole bunch of years and this is going to be something so normal that people do, social selling and network marketing and really being in business for self. And when Jen says that you spend $20 a month, honestly, it's incredible to be able to start a business for $20 a month, or, I spend about $150 a month because that's how much my products cost. But to see 3 years in, the income that I'm making on that initial investment is actually kind of crazy. And I feel blessed for the opportunity because of that. But I really do want to point out 4 things that network marketing can do that I don't feel like other jobs provide, and why I think it's so beautiful and something to be considered. The first obviously is time freedom. You are an entrepreneur as a coach, and you have the ability to do this where you want. My family and I just bought an RV, and it has been incredible for our family, especially through COVID, to be able to go and travel and be outside and also do this business, because this business is a huge source of income for my family, and I can do that anywhere I want. Also traveling and, the vacation time that I had mentioned before. The second is the financial freedom. I don't know about what you guys do for work, but in most of my jobs, my salary increase was usually anywhere from like 2 to 5 to some jobs 10% a year. And that didn't really allow me to dream very big. I kind of never really thought outside of maybe $150,000 a year would be like, I'd made it, whereas the income potential is so much greater depending on how much you want to put into this business. So the financial freedom that network marketing provides for me is one of the biggest things. And then the last two, community. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait for live events again, because I fell in love with this company when I went to an event and was surrounded by thousands of women with a mission to live healthier and happier. It is incredible to be surrounded by that passion. And the fourth is recognition. All those women recognizing each other every single day for their hard freaking work. You know, I think that most of us have probably experienced some form of like drama in high school or whatever. And it's incredible that in this group of, you know, thousands of women we've brought together, we've never experienced anything like that. Is the most supportive community of women, just trying to lift each other up. So the recognition is incredible. I always kind of love to laugh, like, you know, Erin left her job at the government after 15 years. And it's like, did you get a pin? Or, you know, because like the recognition that this company is constantly sending you is just, is beautiful. So to Sarah for the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, Court. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about social media presence, because one of the biggest fears that every single coach has is, I don't want to share on social media, right? I'm really scared to share my life on social media. Honestly, join the club. Like, I do not know one coach who joined, like, I cannot wait to share my life on social media. I cannot wait to do my workouts and share all these things. Nobody, or very few people, nobody that I know is excited about that part, right? This is a common fear for everybody. But here's the thing. You don't have to show up and know all the things. You don't have to show up and have all your stuff figured out. You just need to show up as you. That is your job. Just show up, share what it is that you're doing, and take that pressure off yourself to be perfect. You're not expected to all of a sudden start an Instagram account, or maybe you have 100 followers right now and you're providing all this amazing content that someone with 100,000 followers has. Because guess what? That's not relatable to people. And one of the biggest compliments I've had from my followers on my Instagram is that they appreciated that I shared the very beginning of my journey, because they were able to relate with me. So that is your job. It doesn't need to be anything scary. You don't need to do anything different other than document what it is that you're doing and your journey, and sharing this with people. And honestly, yes, it is a little scary at first. That feeling goes away, but the accountability that it's going to bring your own journey, like I mentioned earlier, and the impact that it's going to have on people is worth it 1,000 times over. Yeah, I'll pass it off to Erin.
Okay, so another question we get a lot is, how much time does this actually take? And to be honest, this is one of the big reasons I didn't want to do it in the beginning, because my life was so chaotic and busy and I had no time. But what I did do is that I actually took an audit of the time that I did have. And I looked really honestly at my day to see, like, how much time am I maybe spending scrolling my phone, or how much time am I spending watching TV? Like, maybe there are actually pockets in my day where I can take 20 minutes here or an hour here and spend that doing something that will help other women and do something that's like going to give me life. So at the beginning, I worked about an hour a day on this business. And if you can find an hour, you know, maybe like from 8 to 9 at night, or maybe that's an hour on your lunch break or whatever, that you can spend helping to inspire and encourage and motivate other people in your life, that's doable. Ultimately, depending on how bigger you want this business to be, that's the best part about this, is that it can be as small or as big as you want it to be. We're all our own entrepreneurs. We all establish our own business and make it into whatever we want it to be. If you want it to be something like grand, where you're making over $1 million a year, then obviously you're going to be putting a lot more time into it than somebody who's going to do it more as just a hobby, or adding it onto their already business offerings, right? So it really depends on what you want. If you were looking to make this into something, then I would say start with an hour a day, filling within pockets of your day, and you can make it work. The next question I get is, how do you get started? So us together as a sisterhood, we do a new mentorship group every single month. We have our next one starting March 1st. It is a collaborative group effort where everybody comes together and we all learn and ask the questions and go through all of the things together. It's a group environment, so everybody who's struggling with sending a message to somebody or struggling putting out a post on social media, we all kind of lean in together and help each other through that. We do a full mentorship where we have calls every single Sunday. We go over different topics and help you with any questions that you have. The coolest part about this business is that you really are business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. We truly share all of our lessons learned. We share what works, what doesn't work. We share our failures. And we share what our success is so that everybody is benefiting from the last 3 years of our business. So you could get started right away with our new mentorship group starting March 1st.
Thanks, Erin. We're going to wrap up the call here. We want to keep it nice and short for you, but I just want to leave you with one thing. You know, often when we're faced with something that's super outside the box, it's really easy to think of all the reasons why you shouldn't do this, or why you can't do this, or why you wouldn't be good at this. But I want you to take a minute tonight and just think about the reasons why you could be good at this and why this might be a good fit in your life. And if there are some of those reasons, if you do feel that tug on your heart, to reach out to the person that invited you to this call and to go over next steps. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you all have a great night.